All right, so I think we're recording now, hopefully. So for my Paralympic sport, I chose para table tennis. So for the rules of para table tennis, they're mostly basically the same as Olympic table tennis and regular table tennis rules. The biggest exceptions come from athletes in wheelchairs. So with this, the athletes who are in wheelchairs have to stay in their wheelchair. If any part of their hip or trunk or legs comes out of the wheelchair, then that results in a point for the other team or the other athlete. And when playing doubles in wheelchairs, either player can return a serve instead of one specific person only being able to return the serve. So for classifications, there's 11 classes total. TT1 through TT5, which stands for table tennis. Table tennis 1 through table tennis 5 is wheelchair classes. So with the lowest being um absolute like no trunk movement available, and then working its way up to like minimal trunk and leg function available. TT6 through TT10 is all standing classes. So these athletes may be amputees or have little movement in their upper body or some upper body disability. And then for the final class of TT11, it's intellectual disability. So these athletes would have Down syndrome or autism or any type of intellectual disability. So for the equipment for Paralympic table tennis, first thing I want to talk about is wheelchairs and their cushion height. So as you can see in this picture, the athletes are very low to the ground in their wheelchairs, which is because the cushion height limit is only 15 centimeters. So anything above that is a violation and they won't be able to play. Also, as you can see in this picture, it is a very unique table, like we talked about in class, as opposed to a regular table tennis table with the legs on all four sides. The Paralympic table has a base in the middle with legs edging out so that the wheelchairs are accessible to move in and out of the table as close or as far away as they want to. And everything else is regulation paddles, regulation net, everything else is the same size. So for scoring, first to 11 points wins, and it is a best of five sets to win the match. So first athlete to win 3 sets will win the match and then move on. There's a variety of way to score points. Like I said before, all the rules are the same as regular table tennis. So you could, once you hit it over to the other side, if they miss the ball, that's a point. And there's a variety of ways to score points. So for my Paralympian, I chose Tal Leibovitz. He is a athlete that grew up in Long Island, New York, and Queens, New York. As a child, he was pretty much homeless for some of his life, lived in and out of shelter homes, and his abusive parents were not very good to him. So he had to find something to do. So he decided to pick up table tennis and started playing in the Queens when he was 14 years old, I believe. And the disability that he has is called osteochondroma, which is a overgrowth in cartilage and the bone, which happens at the end of the bone near the growth plate. And from this, Tal suffers multiple bone tumors inside of his bones all over his body, which classifies him at from anywhere from TT6 to TT10. Right now, I believe he's sitting at a TT7, but he's been anywhere throughout those 5 classifications. Some of his medals are he's a 6-time gold medal winner. He's a 6-time Paralympian. He is in the United States Table Tennis Hall of Fame, and right now he sits at number 10 in the world ranking. So for my reflection, why I chose para table tennis, I chose this because it's a sport that I play and I play for fun with my friends. And I really wanted to dive deep into how competitive table tennis is being played. And why I picked Tall is because for the writing assignment, he was the athlete on the US team that lived closest to where I grew up. So I decided to dive into his life. And I'm glad I did because he's very interesting and a very good player. My biggest takeaways from this is that I cannot believe how amazing these athletes are at table tennis just from watching the clips and the variety of athletes that are playing the sport. I mean, it is absolutely insane. Um, implementation to my future job, the way I would implement this is if we were ever doing like net and wall sports games, we could always do para table tennis instead of regular table tennis. Maybe put the kids in wheelchairs and show them how para table tennis is played. And those are my references. Thank you for listening.